Hey, Isaiah, how would you evaluate your first game for the Lakers?
I mean, individually, I think I played okay, but I wish we would have came out with the win. That would have been even better. But we'll learn from this and figure out ways to win down the stretch. Knowing this is a young team, we made a few key mistakes defensively down the stretch that probably cost us the game. But we'll learn from it, watch the film, and figure things out. But I like the pace of this team. I like the energy the guys bring, and I mean, Coach did the best job he could. I mean, for me to put me in position to play to my strengths and without like only knowing a couple plays.
Yeah, you just got into the hotel last night and met the team. What were you like? What was that limited knowledge? How did that impact the game? And what did Luke try to have you focus on?
I mean, just keeping it simple. That was his main focus, keeping it simple and just trying to put me in the best position to play to my strengths and to make plays. And as I get more familiar with the guys and the familiar with the playbook, I think it'll be even better, especially in close games, executing down the stretch. And we could just go from there.
You guys were scoring pretty easily for much of the game as a team. What did you think defensively, just as a unit? What did you see?
Communication wasn't there for the most part. We played with the energy. They definitely made tough shots though, but at the same time, when we didn't get stops, it was miscommunication. I think that's big, especially on young teams, trusting each other, making sure we got communication, and making sure we're helping each other. And we did that, but not for most of the game, and it cost us.
How much have they tried so far to get you up to speed on the terminology and all that stuff, or is that going to come over the next?
I mean, that will come. I mean, they tried a little bit in practice, but I mean, shoot around, and then they put plays on my iPad. So all last night I was trying to study the playbook and figure out what they do offensively and defensively. But I mean, I've been in this position before with the Celtics where I got traded and I had to play the next day. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I got to do my job of studying what we're doing here, and then I know Coach is going to put me in position to be the best I can be in this system.
Did that kind of show at the end there in the last couple of minutes because, they're not able to really run plays for you and you're getting in the paint, there's nowhere to go? Is that kind of a byproduct of not really having any plays?
I mean, a little bit. I think I had one key turnover where, like, I might have jumped in the air. I don't know where guys are. And that's just getting familiar with each other. I think while we're playing more, practicing more, that will come easier. But at the same time, I mean, it's tough just putting a new guy out there. And I mean, I don't really know any plays, so we couldn't execute like probably in the previous games that he's played in. I mean, that this team has played in. So we'll learn from this and we'll build on it and we'll be better.
You surprised to play that many minutes?
Nah, I could play in this league. I'm glad he gave me the opportunity, but I told him I have no restrictions. I'm able to play, and he gave me the opportunity.
Isaiah, that slow grind is your model, but it's also your lifestyle. What does it mean to you when you see people reach out to you and know that that's their motivation as well?
The slow grind is a lifestyle. I mean, life is a slow grind. No matter what you want to be in life or accomplish, it's not going to come like this. It's slow and steady grind. So, I mean, that's been my motto the last 8-9 months because I've really been on a slow grind. So it's just something that I guess inspired people that's on their own grind and just know to keep pushing through whatever you're going through.
Did it give you a little boost to immediately hit a three as soon as you came in the game?
I mean, a little bit. I just wanted to come in with energy. I just wanted to bring something to the table. Felt like I got my powers back playing on this team now, so I just wanted to bring that energy, bring that intensity, and make plays, and then the ball happened to go in.
Any early impressions of, I guess any teammates in specific, just the guys that you think you could kind of work with, and just even though it was just one night a game?
I mean, not really. All these guys is talented, man. I watch from afar, like when I wasn't on the team. Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Julius Randle always been a tough cover. The list goes on. I like playing with Lopez. I think I can help him out a lot. I mean, I think when it comes to the mental side of things, he gets on himself a lot. And I just tell him to keep pushing, man. You're a big part of this team, and we need you. So a lot of young talent, and I'm excited to be a part of this.
Last two questions.
What do you focus most on as you're getting on the plane, going back to L.A., figure out a place to stay, like all that. What's that? Did you pack a bag? Like, how's that?
I mean, I packed a bag. I'm gonna be in a hotel for a while. I mean, like I said, I've been in this situation before when I got traded in the middle of the season to Boston. So I'm just trying to get my family situated, get them out of Cleveland, and then we'll figure out everything else.
In your time in the league, outside of the basketball court, you made it a point to get involved in the communities that you're in. Why is that so important to you?
My parents, I was raised that way. At a young age, I was always taught to give back when I had something, give to others. And I told myself when I was successful at anything in life that I wanted the communities I was a part of, I wanted to be in the community, not just a basketball player. I wanted to show my face and show the kids and the community that I'm just like them.
Luke, what do you think happened with the defense tonight?
We stopped communicating. It was I'm not sure why, but it was simple. Things we've been doing really well, things we've done all year long, we stopped doing tonight. So it's unfortunate. Had a good chance tonight, let it get away. Give them credit, they played well, they hit a lot of shots. But we got to get back, get home and get back to work.
Offense kind of kept you in it, and you took that lead with that fourth quarter run. What did you think of the stretch time play, even the defense then? Was there anything you were trying to get done on that end to try to reestablish the defense?
On the defensive end? Yeah, we were trying to get stops. Guys were switching out without calling switching. So then we had two going to the ball. Then occasionally we did get a stop, and we'd give up an offensive rebound to one guy. They had smaller lineups out there, one guy running in. So we didn't do enough to – it's hard to win NBA games, I always say, and we didn't do enough to deserve a win tonight on the defensive end of the court.
What did you make of Thomas's debut overall, and how do you think tonight was indicative of how you might use him moving forward?
It was good. He brings another dimension to what we have. When he's able to control pick and rolls like that and get people shots. Obviously, we couldn't run a ton of stuff because he's been with us for one day. But he was good. You could see his competitive spirit come out a little bit. He was scrapping, knocking down shots. So, overall, he had a good night.
Can you still switch 1 through 5 the way you want to defensively with just the personnel switches with Thomas coming in?
We'll see. Tonight he did as good as anyone on it. We didn't really know what to expect, but he was scrap when we did switch with him. He I'll check the tape and check the numbers on what it was, but he seemed to have some success for the most part when he was switching and fighting bigger players.
Do you think the personnel changes might have had something to do with the defensive communication?
It should not have. I mean, it's as simple as calling a switch. I mean, we have words for it, but whatever our words, it's that simple. And a lot of times it was guys that have been here all year. I mean, Channing didn't play tonight, so he was the only one out there, and he wasn't out there all game. So a lot of times it was just our own guys that were just not communicating, and then once we did, we didn't do a good job of individually defending our man. They were driving, kicking us all night, and frustrating. But we did some good things on offense, so we'll break down the tape and learn from it and get back after it.
Julius, offensively, everything seemed to click. You guys put up basically 130 points. What happened on the defensive end?
We didn't get stops, lack of communication. I think it's pretty much like communication. We didn't just talk about our switches and stuff like that. We were in scramble mode the whole night, and we didn't do enough consistently.
You had almost a triple-double. Why do you think the offense worked as well as it did tonight?
Offense wasn't a problem. We can put up points. Talented players. It's defensive end.
You had a new player, Isaiah, and he played a lot of minutes, played great on offense. Was that part of the defensive adjustment, getting used to playing with someone new?
Nah, man, it's not on IT. It's on all of us. We all didn't bring it on the defensive end, and I started with me and Josh, I think. We didn't talk out, some communications on reds. So I'll definitely take responsibility on that, and I think it had a trickle-down effect the rest of the game. So we just got to be better from the start of the game.
Is that an easy fix?
Really easy. It's just communication. We just got to talk to each other. There's key defensive plays down the stretch where we just didn't talk to each other. That could have made stops, and we just didn't talk.
There's a couple of games here now. What is it about playing in your hometown that you just kind of have big games here?
I don't care where it is. I'm just going to try to bring it every night. Just be consistent as possible.
End of a 4-game winning streak for you. How do you get back on the horse?
Got to get back to defending. When we lose these games, it's because we don't defend. And that's where we hang our hat on the defensive end. So just got to get back to defending.
4-game win streak comes to an end in Dallas. The Mavs' bottom line guys were better down the stretch. Lakers had a 1-point lead with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left and pretty much fell apart from there. Gave up 130 points to the Mavs, who were on fire.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when you get away from your game. You stop trusting your system of passing the ball, moving the ball, making the defense work, not putting up quick shots, not taking long shots, and then they're getting the ball and running. They got to a lot of ISOs down the stretch. And I know this was Isaiah's first time with the team, and they wanted him to navigate a little bit, so that needs to be adjusted a little bit. But I thought the reason that they lost is because it was an offensive duel. And Dallas won that. They won that offensive thing, and nobody was playing defense down the stretch.
Yeah.
17 turnovers by the Lakers. They gave up 29 points off of those turnovers. That didn't help at all
so
either.
sloppy with the ball as well.
It's pretty sloppy down the stretch.
And it doesn't help when you don't box out or do the little things that it takes. You gave up a lot of points in the paint to this team to allow them to get second and third shots down the stretch.
Yeah, 52 points in the paint that you're talking about, Coop. Dallas shot 54%. They scored at least 30 points in every quarter. And the Dallas bench, I mean, a bunch of guys that you really didn't think were going to hurt you, they had 50 points, Coop.
Yeah, and you know what? These guys came off, not necessarily played efficiently, they just played hard. And when you play hard, sometimes good things happen for you.
Big game, James. Isaiah Thomas, you look at his, we're not going to talk about him yet, but I just want to say, it's going to take time for them to get used to him as well, especially on the defensive end. I mean, remember, you lose Larry Nance, kind of your defensive captain, especially on that second unit. IT comes in there. Guys are rotating and not sure when the switching, and they got to figure that part out because Dallas picked on them a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to take a practice or two to get in sync. Sometimes just one player out of sync, if he's new, hadn't been used to the defense, can crack down the whole defense. He's small. Isaiah's small, so when you're switching like that, you got to be careful now. He's not Lonzo Ball. He's not 6'6", or he's not, Clarkson, who's like 6'6", big. He's a little smaller, so I think they'll have to make some adjustments with that.
And they're trying to find out what his deficiencies are, especially in that pick-and-roll game, so people can come over there and help him a little bit more. I think, again, as James said, practice will